A very good evening to you and welcome back on PACIS TV English News Edition. My name is Benjamin Kwizera and these are top stories tonight. As part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the fight against the production and distribution of substandard alcoholic beverages, on Thursday, the Rwanda Investigation Bureau named individuals who are being investigated of alleged involvement in the illegal activities. Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Jean-Patrick Nduhungirehe, has called on African countries to urgently understand and prepare for the implications of emerging technologies, particularly autonomous systems in defense and security. The family plays a vital role in nurturing and fostering priestly vocation in Catholic Church. Christians from Kibingo Parish in the Catholic Diocese of Nyundo are calling on parents to take an active role in helping their children to discern and respond to the call to serve God. Well, in international news, Ukraine is facing renewed Russian attacks on civilian and critical infrastructures. President Volodymyr Zelensky steps up calls for additional Western air defense support and efforts to revive diplomatic initiatives aimed at ending the war. Well, welcome to our news in details tonight. As part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the fight against the production and distribution of substandard alcoholic beverages, on Thursday, the Rwanda Investigation Bureau named individuals who are being investigated over alleged involvement in the illegal activities. Among those under investigation are 10 Rwanda FDA employees led by the agency's Director General, Professor Emi Bienveni, according to RIM. In a message to the media, spokesperson of Rwanda Investigation Bureau, Dr. RW'IGITANGAZAMAKURU, wanted people who continue to engage in the production, distribution, and sale of substandard alcoholic beverages. BTRI.
Ngira ngo twongeye guhura nyuma y'igihe gitoya ni nyuma yuko hafashwe icyemezo cyo gufunga zimwe mu nganda zakoraga ibinyobwa.
After a short period of time, we are back. Following measures taken to close some factories that were producing alcoholic beverages that did not meet the required standards, various people were arrested in different parts of the country. As for today, a total of 104 people have been arrested for their involvement in these activities, including the production and sale of the alcoholic beverages. 97 case files have already been submitted to the prosecution for further legal action. The operation began on 20th of July 2026 and is still ongoing. It was launched to protect the health and the lives of Rwandans, particularly young people. We are aware of the consequences caused by these beverages, including deaths, loss of eyesight, family conflicts, killings, and other problems associated with the consumption of substandard alcoholic drinks. Today, we were able to present 18 of the suspects. Some were unable to enter, but those we were able to present were 18 in total. They include employees of government working at different levels and involved in the issuance of permits. As you have also seen, some of those arrested are officials of the FDA. From the FDA, a total of 10 FDA officials are under investigation, including the Director General, Professor Emi Bienveni.
Muri Rwanda FDA na abantu 10 bakurikiranwe harimo na ubuyobozi mukuru wa Rwanda FDA Director General ariwe Professor Emi Bienveni.
Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Jean-Patrick Nduhungirehe, has called on African countries to urgently understand and prepare for the implications of emerging technologies, particularly autonomous systems in defense and security. More report Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Olivier Nduhungirehe, has called on African countries to urgently understand and prepare for implications of emerging technologies, particularly autonomous systems in defense and security. Minister Nduhungirehe Olivier made the remarks on August 12, 2026, while delivering the opening address at high-level dialogue organized by ASCA under the theme, The Rise of Autonomous Systems, Implications of Defense and Security in Africa. The discussions focused on how emerging technologies are transforming the defense and security landscape across Africa and how countries on the continent can prepare to harness the opportunities created by these technologies while addressing the potential risks and challenges they may present. Minister Nduhungirehe stressed that Africa should not be left behind as technology continues to advance at a rapid pace. He emphasized the need for African countries to understand the implications of these technologies for national and continental security, while also safeguarding national sovereignty and strengthening Africa's ability to determine its own strategic direction. The ISCA dialogue brought together leaders, experts, and other security stakeholders to exchange views on the potential changes that autonomous technologies could bring to military and security operations. Such discussions also provide Africa with opportunity to explore how emerging technologies can be used to strengthen security while developing strategies to protect the continent's interest, sovereignty, and independence in technological and security decision-making. Well, the family plays a vital role in nurturing and fostering priestly vocations in the Catholic Church. Christians from Chibingo Parish in the Catholic Diocese of Nyundo are calling on parents to take an active role in helping their children discern and respond to the call to serve God. More report. The family plays a vital role in nurturing and fostering priestly vocations in the Catholic Church. Christians from Chibingo Parish in the Catholic Diocese of Nyundo are calling on parents to take an active role in helping their children discern and respond to the call to serve God. The parish priest also emphasized that the families must first recognize marriage and family life as a vocation and place God at the center of their homes. He says families should be characterized by prayer, as this will help the church continue to receive new priestly vocations. Nyiransabayezu Mali Chantar, a representative of Christians at Chibingo Parish in the Diocese of Nyundo, speaks about the role families should play in fostering priestly vocations. She says parents should be enthusiastic about supporting their children when they feel called to the priesthood. Marie Chantal further encourages young people not to view dedicating their lives to God as abandoning their families, but rather as expanding the family through service to God and the church. She urges everyone to embrace the vocation and follow the example of those who have gone before them in the priesthood. The parish priest of Chibingo, Father Theogene Ndagijimana, says families must first recognize marriage and family life as a vocation of service. He encourages families to put God first and make prayer an essential part of their daily lives, saying this is one of the ways the church can continue to receive priestly vocations. Christians at Chibingo Parish believe that families have a crucial role to play in promoting and sustaining priestly vocations. They are encouraging parents to embrace a life of prayer so that the church can continue to receive more priests. Chibingo Parish was established in 1959. The family plays a vital role, as the message said in that story. 29 health centers in RUSIZE and Nyamasheke districts have received essential medical equipment worth more than 37.263 million, including a bot ambulance delivered to Hombo Health Center. The equipment was handed over by the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu, His Lordship Bishop Edward Sinayobye. News in detail. 29 health centers in RUSIZE and Nyamasheke districts have received essential medical equipment worth 37.263 million, including a bot ambulance delivered to Hombo Health Center. The equipment was handed over by the Bishop of Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu, Bishop Edward Sinayobye, who urged the management of the health centers to take good care of the equipment and use it effectively to improve healthcare services for the communities they serve. The equipment was donated by BUFMAR to support health centers in RW'IGITANGAZAMAKURU and Nyamasheke districts that collaborate with organizations with the aim of improving the quality of healthcare services provided to residents. At Ingombo Health Center, the boat ambulance was described as particularly important because of the geographical location of the facility. Previously transporting patients requiring urgent medical attention to the shores of Lake Kivu and across the lake to reach healthcare facilities on the other side was a major challenge. The new boat ambulance is expected to help address this challenge and enable patients to access emergency medical services more quickly. A total of 29 health centers received essential medical equipment based on urgent needs they had identified. Health center managers said that although the equipment does not address all the challenges facing their facilities, it has helped to fill critical gaps and strengthened their capacity to provide healthcare services. Rusizi District Vice Mayor in charge of social affairs, Mukabalisa Francine, acknowledged that there are still shortages of basic medical equipment and healthcare workers in some health centers. However, she urged the healthcare providers to continue prioritizing patients and improving the quality of services they deliver. She thanked BUFMAR for the support, describing the donated equipment as an important and much-needed contribution to the health centers. Bishop Edward Sinayobye of Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu and a member of BUFMAR's board of directors expressed satisfaction that the health centers had received equipment they urgently needed. However, he urged the facilities to use the equipment properly and ensure that it contributes to better healthcare services for patients.
Well, after a short commercial break, we are coming back with the international news tonight.
babivuze ukuri kuwiza imyuga acukubiri n'ubushomeri maze agatangira gukirigita ifaranga. Mu ishuri umushumba mwiza TSS niho honyine wakwiga imyuga ku rwego rwa AD irimo guteka ibizwi nka food and beverage operations, ubudozi cyangwa fashion design.
Abashaka kandi kwiga by'igihe gito namwe twabatekerejeho kuko tubigisha gutunganya imisatsi, ubutetsi n'amahoteli. Ushobora no kwiga mu mezi 3, 6 cyangwa umwaka, ndetse n'ishami ry'ubuhinzi no gutunganya umusaruro. Ni mutugane.
Umuryango mushumba mwiza kandi ubafitiye n'ishuri ribanza ry'ikitegerezo rya Ecole Saint Agnes guhera mu y'inshuke kugeza usoje abanza.
Ngwino wandikisha umwana wawe hakiri kare kuko twatangiye kwandikisha abashaka gutangirana n'umwaka w'amashuri mu kwezi kwa 9.
Ishuri umushumba mwiza TSS na Ecole Saint Agnes aherereye i Remera mu Giporoso ahazwi nko ku Cyamitsingi.
Ku bindi bisobanuro wahamagara kuri nimero mubona kuri ekara zanyu.
Burya inzozi z'umwana zitangirira ni mu ishuri ritanga uburezi bufite ireme. Iryo shuri nta rindi ritari Ecole Saint Anibal.
Ishuri Saint Anibal ubu ryatangiye kwandika abanyeshuri bazaryigamo umwaka w'amashuri wa 2026 2027.
Twakira abana guhera muri materineri ya mbere, iya kabiri n'iya gatatu ndetse no mu mashuri abanza kuva mu mwaka wa mbere kugeza mu mwaka wa 5.
Muri Ecole Saint Anibal abana bahabwa uburere n'ubumenyi bufite ireme. Akarusho ku mwana wize muri iki kigo kandi nuko abadudubiza icyongereza n'igifaransa.
Kubira ishuri ari ry'abapadiri b'abarogationiste bituma umwana uharerewe akurana indangagaciro za gikristu.
Ushaka kwandikisha umwana wawe tugana Ibwerankori ahazwi nka Kimisange ni mu murenge wa Kigarama mu karere ka Kicukiro. Dukora kuva ku wa mbere kugera ku wa 5 mu masaha ya mbere ya saa 6.
Ku bindi bisobanuro wahamagara kuri telefone ubona kuri ekara yawe.
Tegura hazaza heza h'umwana wawe umujyana muri Ecole Saint Anibal.
Yemwe byashuri bose bashaka ni College Fondation Sinagera.
Mama we
iri ni ishuri ribumbatiye icyerekezo cy'u Rwanda twifuza kuko ritanga uburezi buhamye mu mashuri y'inshuke, abanza, icyiciro rusange ndetse n'amashami y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro mu buhinzi, ubworozi, food processing, ubwubatsi, ubukanishi bw'ibinyabiziga, fashion design, gutunganya imisatsi, ububaji n'ubusuderi. Hari n'amasomo y'igihe gito short courses mu mashami yavuzwe haruguru aherekezwa na practice zihagije kuko abanyeshuri bigira mu nganda za Sina Gerard. Sina Gerard International Football Academy yigisha abana guhera ku myaka 6 gucunga ruhago sawa sawa, atletism, imbyino nyarwanda no kwiga amategeko y'umuhanda no gutwara ibinyabiziga nabyo biri mu nyongera y'amasomo. Abana biga amashuri y'incuke n'abanza basoza ibyo byiciro bose bazi gutwara igare. Umwana wa segonderi we atahana uruhusa rwo gutwara ibinyabiziga. Witinda kwandikisha umwana ku ishuri kuri Nyirangarama cyangwa ku mashami ya Sina Gerard Entreprise Urwibutso hose mu gihugu. Ku bindi bisobanuro hamagara 0788535123 cyangwa 0788535999. Twubaka ubukungu bushingiye ku bumenyi.
Ni murikagurisha mpuzamahanga.
PSF yateguye imurikagurisha mpuzamahanga ku nshuro ya 29 rizabera Gikondo mu mujyi wa Kigali kuva ku itariki ya 28 Nyakanga kugeza ku ya 17 Kanama 2026. Ibihugu bigera kuri 20 byose bizaba biri mu rw'imisozi igihumbi. Buri gicuruzwa, service cyangwa kwidagadura wifuza byose bizaba bihari. Imiryango izaba ifunguye buri munsi guhera saa 3 za mu gitondo kugera saa 4 z'ijoro. Kubifuza kumurika ibyo bakora nababwira iki? Imiryango irafunguye. Hamagara 0785 imurikagurisha mpuzamahanga Expo uritegurirwa n'urugaga rw'abikorera PSF ifatanyije na Minisiteri y'Ubucuruzi n'Inganda Minicom.
Rero ugiye kutubwira impamvu zatumye hitamo kuza gusaba akazi hano. Bwa mbere nza gusaba akazi hano nari nabitekerejeho, mbabarire. Murakoze. Mu by'ukuri numvaga mfite ubushobozi ndetse n'ubushake.
So kutiteguye bihagije ni ukutaryama neza. Rwanda Farm, le paradis du matelas.
Bakerarugendo namwe bashyitsi mugenda mu karere ka Muhanga no mu tundi turere two mu ntara y'Amajyepfo n'intara y'Iburengerazuba, namwe mwese mukeneye serivisi za hoteli, ni muze nimugera mu mujyi wa Muhanga mukomeze gato. Nimugera i Kabgayi murahasanga hoteli yiteguye kubakirana urugwiro. Iyo nta yindi ni Hotel Saint Andre Kabgayi. Hotel Saint Andre Kabgayi tugufitiye serivisi zitandukanye za bar na restaurant kandi zitanga ubuhanga n'icyubahiro ku mukiriya utugana. Tubafitiye kandi imikino itandukanye ifasha abatugana kuruhuka nka piscine wogeramo ukaruhuka mu mutwe, imyicungo igezweho abana bidagaduriramo bagataha banezerewe, tennis na table game bakunze kwita biyari, igisoro ndetse na volley yo ku mucanga bakunze kwita beach volley mukunda muri benshi nayo nitwayibagiwe. Ikindi nuko muri Hotel Saint Andre Kabgayi twakira inama zitandukanye kuko tubafitiye ibyumba byiza by'inama utasanga ahandi, byaba bito ndetse n'ibishobora kwakira abantu benshi, ariko by'akarusho tukaba tubafasha no gukora inama mukoresheje ikoranabuhanga mu gihe mutari kumwe mu cyumba. Kubifuza serivisi za catering, Hotel Saint Andre Kabgayi amafunguro n'ibinyobwa tubibagerezaho ku gihe. Tubafitiye ibyumba byiza byagutse biri mu byiciro bitandukanye, harimo n'ibyo bakunze kwita suite mu ndimi z'amahanga, ndetse byose ukaba ubibona ku giciro cyiza. Muri make ugeze muri Hotel Saint Andre Kabgayi ahora yifuza kugaruka kubera uburyo yakiranye ubwuzu n'icyubahiro tutasanga ahandi, kuko serivisi dutanga tuzitanga kinyamwuga kandi zishingiye ku ndangagaciro za Kizizi. Ku bindi bisobanuro waduhamagara kuri telefone ziri kuri ekara yawe cyangwa ukatwandikira unyuze ku mbuga nkoranyambaga zacu zitandukanye. Hotel Saint Andre Kabgayi, imfura mu mahoteli mu gutanga serivisi nziza inoze kandi ku gihe.
Well, welcome to our international news tonight. France has opened disciplinary proceedings against its ambassador to Central African Republic, Bruno Fouché, following an administrative investigation into allegations of misconduct at the French diplomatic residence in Bangui. The French Foreign Ministry confirmed that disciplinary proceedings were launched after internal inquiry examined reports concerning the ambassador's conduct. The case was first reported by the French investigative weekly Le Canard Enchaîné. According to the report, the investigation focused on allegations that Fouché repeatedly brought young women to his private apartment within the official residence between the January 2024 and March 2026. The newspapers reported that around 30 women, mostly aged between 20 and 30, were involved, with some reportedly staying overnight. The allegation also raised security concerns because of the use of an official diplomatic residence and frequency of the visits. Reports say France's Foreign Ministry inspectorate questioned about 40 witnesses during investigation and subsequently recommended disciplinary action. Well, from Central African Republic to Ukraine. Ukraine is facing renewed Russian attacks on civilian and critical infrastructure as President Volodymyr Zelensky steps up calls for additional Western air defense support and efforts to revive diplomatic initiatives aimed at ending the war. On Thursday, the 13th of August, Russian forces attacked the Ukrainian port city of Izmail on the Danube, damaging infrastructure and disrupting electricity supplies. The port is an important route for Ukraine's grain export, making the attack a further challenge for the country's agricultural trade. Ukrainian officials also reported that Russian attacks across the country over the previous 24 hours has killed at least 8 people and injured about 50 others. A passenger train was among the targets hit, highlighting continuing concerns of attacks affecting civilian infrastructure. Meanwhile, President Zelensky is pressing the United States to provide Ukraine with more Patriot air defense interceptors. He said additional Patriot missiles could significantly strengthen Ukraine's ability to defend its cities and critical infrastructure against Russian ballistic missiles. Zelensky has argued that the access to a larger share of the U.S. Patriot stockpile would help Ukraine encounter the growing missile threat. Well, this is the end of our news edition tonight, but before we close, let's go back to the top stories. In our news tonight, as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the fight against the production and distribution of substandard alcoholic beverages, on Thursday, the Rwanda Investigation Bureau named individuals who are being investigated over alleged involvement in the illegal activities. Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Jean-Patrick Nduhungirehe, has called on African countries to urgently understand and prepare for the implications of emerging technologies, particularly autonomous systems in defense and security. Christians from Chibigo Parish in the Catholic Diocese of Nyundo are calling on parents to take an active role in helping their children discern and respond to the call to serve God. In international news, Ukraine is facing renewed Russian attacks on the civilian and critical infrastructure as President Volodymyr Zelensky steps up calls for additional Western air defense support and efforts to revive diplomatic initiatives and aimed at ending the war. Well, it was a very huge privilege to be with you tonight, and thank you very much for choosing PACIS TV once again. My name is Benjamin Kwizera, and I wish you a very fantastic night.